Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 31 of Was I in the Wrong? Before we get into our stories for today, just some housekeeping. First note, I am very shiny. My hair is all pulled back. I've already been for my walk today. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. It's fine. But as per usual, or if you are new here, thank you for joining. Please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more. If you are listening or watching on YouTube, please comment with your thoughts on the story down below. Subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Like the video and share it with a friend. All right. Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we are here to judge, give advice, and enjoy all the petty drama. So let's get right on into our stories for today. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITH for not telling people I was pregnant. Sorry for the long read. I, 27 female, have 5 kids, and with each pregnancy came more drama. My first pregnancy, I was 18 and a family member, I'll call her Tracy, she's not actually related to me, acted like I ruined her life and cried for hours when she found out I was pregnant. I had a full job and had started college classes when I was 16, so it's not like I couldn't support myself. She then told me she was going to be in the delivery room, and that sparked months of us arguing because I didn't want her there. Finally, day of delivery comes, and unfortunately she was my sister's ride to the hospital because she lived an hour away from me. I only wanted my mom and sister in delivery room with me, and as I was pushing, Tracy comes in the room and starts taking pictures from the foot of my bed. I've never seen the pictures. She says you can't see anything in them. I can't even imagine. I normally don't use a lot of 4-letter words, but I probably would have used some 4-letter words right there, and told the nurses to get her the hell out of my room. Ooh, crazy. That is the definition of entitled, crazy, and the whole world revolves around Tracy. Sorry, moving on. Second pregnancy, among other things Tracy did, she posted the gender of my baby on Facebook before I could even tell my husband's parents, because she overheard me telling my sister. She waited until I went to bed to make her post, so when I finally found out, it was too late. My husband's whole family found out. It was blowing up my phone. She then threw a fit when I didn't allow visitors in the hospital during COVID. Third pregnancy, we decided not to find out the gender, and Tracy threw a huge fit, calls and texts almost daily begging me to reconsider so she could throw us a gender reveal party. And when that didn't work, she started telling me she couldn't get anything for the baby if she didn't know the baby's gender. She did so much more, but I'm not going to go into everything. When she found out I was in labor, she started FaceTiming me every 5 to 10 minutes and was constantly texting my husband because we told everybody we weren't going to have any visitors at the hospital and they needed a password to get into our room. Very good. We're learning as we go here. Fourth pregnancy, she got genuinely upset when she found out I was pregnant and asked why we were having another baby. I was on birth control, so it was a surprise for us as well. She started with her normal routine, constantly calling, texting, expecting almost daily updates. For the most part, I just ignored her. Then at 23 weeks, we sent everyone a list of expectations, because she's never respected any of my boundaries. Saying I wasn't going to let anyone know when I was having my baby. No visitors for 6 weeks, along with all normal things you would ask when having a newborn. Tracy threw a fit, saying, "This is your 4th baby. Why so many rules? Can't you just get over yourself? You're not that special, you know." At 30 weeks, my baby tried to come early. Thankfully, they were able to stop my labor, but I was put on bed rest for 8 weeks, along with weekly non-stress tests to make sure baby was okay. During this time, I had no contact with Tracy. The day I hit 38 weeks, Tracy texted me asking if I was having contractions, and asked why I wasn't updating her. I really want to know what your relationship with Tracy was before you ever started having kids. Because this is like a whole different level of entitlement and like I belong in your life. Like you might envision what happened from a sister maybe. This is still excessive and weird, but was Tracy, because you said family member, but not actually related. Was she like a close best friend for a while? I need to know more. Let's see. I told her I had some complications and just wanted peace and quiet to prevent any further issues. She then would text me daily, asking if I had the baby yet. I never responded until my baby was a week old, as she posted something on Facebook about young people not having any respect for family anymore. Okay, so maybe more like a grandparent type of figure? And she knew we were moving across the country for my job when my baby turned 2 months old. She knew 6 months in advance, and she waited until we moved to start complaining that she didn't meet my baby. 5th pregnancy, my husband had had a vasectomy and I was on birth control. Both failed and I found out I was pregnant. From the start, we were told due to some issues, my baby probably wouldn't make it until 20 weeks more, let alone be born alive. So we decided not to tell anyone. 20 weeks came and went, baby was okay. Weekly checkups and everything went smoothly until 37 weeks, when I suffered a placental abruption while home alone with my 4 older children. I was rushed to the hospital and had an emergency C-section, where me and baby both almost passed away, but was okay in the end. After over a week in the hospital, we came home and finally told everyone about the baby. Everyone was extremely happy about the baby and was happy we were both okay, except for Tracy. Tracy started crying and yelling about how could I not tell her I was pregnant. Tracy, when are you going to get the memo that this mom doesn't care about you? That nothing about her life has anything to do with you. Get over yourself. And when we explained that we knew there was complications and wanted to keep everything private, she said she still should have been told about the pregnancy, because everything revolves around Tracy, and that we just didn't care about her anymore. Why would they? She asked if we were planning to have visitors. I said no because I just had surgery. We didn't tell anyone I had a C-section. She just changed the subject to how she had to have her anxiety meds adjusted because I was stressing her out so much. Oh my God. We went no contact with her immediately. 5 kids later, this took long enough. It's been over a year and she still refuses to even acknowledge my youngest, sends me money and gifts for my older 4 children, and changes the subject if someone brings up my youngest baby. Tracy's a Fruit Loop. I would not. It's like because she never knew about the pregnancy before the baby happened, this child doesn't exist to her. I would not accept any money or gifts from her for the older 4 children, send them back, tell her you went no contact. So you could say, we're returning these because we have 5 kids, not 4. Or just return them because you are no contact with her. You don't need her in your life, so you don't need anything from her. Ooh, was there even a question? Am I the asshole for not telling people I was pregnant? No, that was such a stressful situation for you. Truly not knowing if the outcome would be what anyone expects from a pregnancy, that you get to take a healthy baby home from the hospital with you, and it almost didn't work out that way. No, it's your pregnancy, your family, your body. You hold the power over who knows what. And I think you absolutely made the right choice in not telling anyone, especially not telling Tracy, because she's just like a flaming ball of stress. I don't like Tracy. Oh, that was a long one. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA for leaving my family without a turkey after my mom insulted my fiance. So I was in charge of bringing the turkey for my family's holiday dinner this year. Big responsibility, I know. We were hosting in my parents' place and my fiance came along to help me prep. While we were in the kitchen, my mom casually decided this was the perfect time to tell me, in front of my fiance, that she doesn't think she'd make a good wife or mother. No joke. No softening it. Just straight up criticism like she was giving a Yelp review. I froze for a second because what do you even say to that? My fiance went quiet, obviously embarrassed, and I could feel my face getting hot. I tried to brush it off at first, but my mom doubled down, saying she was just being honest. and that I should think carefully before making life choices I'll regret. Mom's trying to fight. At that point, something in me snapped. I told my mom that if she couldn't respect me or my relationship, I wasn't sticking around to smile and pass the mashed potatoes like nothing happened. I picked up my stuff, and yes, that included the turkey I had spent 2 days brining, and told my fiance we were leaving. Cue shocked faces and my dad asking, "So, there's no turkey?" Nope, not anymore. Now my siblings are texting me saying I was petty and ruined dinner for everyone, while my aunt called to say she understood why I left, but maybe I could have just dropped the turkey off and gone. Honestly, I get it. I didn't want to ruin everyone's holiday, but I also didn't want to hand deliver a feast to someone who just insulted the person I love. So here I am wondering, AITA for walking out with a turkey and leaving my family to figure out dinner without it? No. I do hate it for everyone else who didn't do anything wrong to you, but I am so proud of you for being so supportive of your fiance that you did not tolerate this behavior from your mom at all. So many people do tolerate this behavior, and it's really sad, but you heard it. It made you uncomfortable. You didn't like it. You knew it was wrong. You told her so, and you left. Like, you immediately gave consequences to your mom's action, hopefully teaching her that it's not acceptable for her to do this in the future. And honestly, even in the end, you weren't the bad guy for taking the turkey. She's the bad guy for being the reason you left with the turkey. And hopefully they gave her crap about it after you left, because the whole situation was her fault. Completely, 100%. You're not the asshole. It was yours to do what you wanted with. Were you supposed to bring it for the family dinner? Yes, but that was with the expectation that you would also be eating at that family dinner. And that's not what happened. So, you are right. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/Am I the Jerk? Am I the jerk for telling my best friend I can't be her maid of honor if she insists on a child-free wedding, but expects me to leave my newborn for 3 days? Me, 32 female, and my best friend Sarah, 32 female, have been close forever. She asked me to be her maid of honor for her wedding next year, and I was super excited. Said yes right away. But a few weeks ago, she said the whole wedding was going to be child-free, like no kids at all, including babies. That's kinda a problem because I'm due to have my first baby 2 months before the wedding. I talked to her gently and let her know I'd love to be there for her, but I can't leave a newborn for 3 whole days. The wedding weekend includes travel, rehearsal dinner, bachelorette stuff, the whole thing. I told her I'd be breastfeeding and it just wouldn't be possible to leave my baby that long. She got really cold after that, said I was making it about me and not caring about her biggest day. Then she told me I needed to pick between my baby and her wedding. I honestly don't think I'm being unreasonable, but now I'm feeling torn. Am I the jerk? No. You're right, and the reason why I think you're right is because you didn't ask for your baby to be included in her child-free wedding. You just said, I'm going to have a newborn, I'm going to be breastfeeding, I can't physically be gone for that long. You didn't ask her to make any exceptions for you or make any changes for her. You just said, I want to support you, but if you're not allowing kids or babies, I can't come. You didn't ask her to change anything. So you're right. You picked. You picked like you should have. Everyone is always entitled for their wedding to be the way that they as a couple want it to be. Even if that's child-free, that is your choice, absolutely. If you only want children at the ceremony for to be part of the wedding party, like flower girl, ring bearer, or no children at all, point blank. That's fair, that's your decision. And you only would have been the jerk in this situation if you had asked her to make an exception to let you bring your baby. You didn't do that. You just said, this is your rule. I cannot accommodate that. I have a baby that will be too young to be left without me, so I can't come. And that's fair. You are not making it about you, like she said. She's being really entitled. And thinking that just because she's getting married for these 3 days, the world revolves around her, and it doesn't. If you said you've been close for forever, your friendship should have been able to withstand this. The only reason it's not withstanding this is because she doesn't want it to. Okay, story number 4 is coming to us from r/AITA_relationships. AITA for not sitting by my husband at a wedding. I've been having a hard time in my marriage lately, and shamefully, I've been going to Reddit a lot for advice. I know, bad idea. Yet here we are. Sometimes I generally don't know if I'm wrong or he's just saying I am. I sometimes feel gaslit. So here is another situation. Me and my husband went to a wedding today. The wedding was on his side of the family, so he was a groomsman. I'm 8 months pregnant and we brought our 1-year-old. He's getting to where he's throwing more tantrums and running around. It's exhausting me, this pregnancy. Anyways, the wedding is outdoors and it was a 2-hour drive. My 1-year-old was pretty restless by the time we got there. I expressed to my husband how worried I was that he wasn't going to be good at the wedding. It seems that lately when I take him places, he's throwing tantrums. I told him that maybe today will be easier because I have his help. Side note, I offered to find a babysitter for him today, but my husband said it would be fine and to bring him. It's a wedding with other kids and our kid is family enough. Anyways, I make sure to keep our kid happy while he took photos with the family. Once he was done and was just having small talk with some family, I brought him over and asked my husband to keep an eye on him while I get the diaper bag and supplies out of the car. Husband said yes. I was maybe gone for 5 minutes, but when I came back to get our toddler, he was gone. My husband still talking and laughing with the other guys. I asked him where he went. He said he didn't know. I hurried and found him because there is a river nearby and I was scared he found it. I was kind of bugged that he didn't even watch him for 5 minutes. But whatever, I'm just going to move on.
Mom?
Yes?
I gave the turtles a little bit of food.
Uh-huh.
Mead come out. John Jay come out. Took about food. And Mead hissed at John Jay.
Ooh, the violence.
I know, it's so rude.
It is. I'll be out soon. I gotta give him water. Oh, yeah. That's their defense mechanism. The wedding starts and my toddler is already getting playful and wants to run around. So to not ruin the walk down, I take him away and let him play during the important part. So far seems thoughtful. I noticed he still was playful, so I brought him back to the wedding party and sat in the back with a quiet toy for him to play with. The wedding was hours long, during which my husband ignored where I was at and sat with his friends while I dealt with tantrums, carrying him to the bathroom to change him, which is an uphill 5-minute walk away, and trying to soothe him. This old lady noticed I was on the verge of tears near the end and what felt like the 100th tantrum. I was exhausted. She came over and helped soothe him for me and told me I was doing a good job. I felt betrayed from my husband. We talked in the car and had an understanding, I thought. He said it wouldn't be a big deal to help me during the wedding even though he was a groomsman. He wasn't that close with the family. But I got no help. By the time the wedding ended, I started cramping and had to sit down, worried something is wrong with my pregnancy. Finally, he came over and said, "Do you want some food?" I told him to please just take our baby and focus on getting him some food. I was cramping and didn't feel good. He said okay, grabbed him and the baby some food and sat by me. He could tell my mood was down. Told me if I could just please be happy. I told him that I'm exhausted, how I felt bad, and he didn't even try to sit by me like he said he would, and I had to be alone again during another event taking care of our baby. He said, "Well, you didn't try to sit by me." And I asked, "Would you have rathered I grabbed our crying baby and walked to the front row and plopped right next to you and just hand you the baby?" He said, "Well, I expected you to sit by me." I said, "You didn't even bother looking around for me where you were sitting to see why I wasn't going to. You weren't worried about me at all." He said, "Okay, sorry," and moved on. The sorry didn't even feel like a real sorry, almost like he was just telling me to just shut up already and move on. Every time I bring up the subject about how I was alone again to take on our toddler while heavily pregnant, he would just shrug and say, "Well, you should have sat by me like you were supposed to." But I feel like maybe he should have checked to see why I wasn't sitting by him, help me like he promised, not sit with his friends without even checking up on me. There was a lot that went wrong at this wedding. Dancing with girls I didn't want him to dance with, not letting us leave the wedding when he promised, stopping at his mom's even though I begged him to just drive home due to our crying baby, and when we did stop at his mom's, telling me he'll just run in real quick and just say hi to his mom. She won't come out. I was crying and didn't want to talk to anybody, and it will be really fast. It wasn't. His mom came out to try and talk to me, and then he went off and talked to his mom for a while. I just wondered when me and crying baby can just go home now.
Stuck it through the door.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know what flavor it is, but
Oh.
it looks tasty.
Oh, thank you, baby.
I'm pretty sure mine's gonna be tastier for me.
Oh, what?
Love you.
Bye, love you. I just wondered when me and my crying baby can just go home now. I'm so frustrated, but I can't help but wonder if I'm controlling. I feel like I keep asking him for help or favors, and he doesn't provide, and I get mad. He makes me feel like I'm just trying to control things, and maybe he's right, but I'm exhausted having a conversation with him. Please just tell me if I'm in the wrong. You are not wrong. You are right. This whole situation is a mess for a lot of reasons. One of which, okay, I don't think a wedding should ever be that long. I know a lot of them are, and I don't see a point in it or a reason for it. That's one big problem here that really made your day horrible. Okay, you were supposed to sit by him. That was never a reasonable expectation because him as a groomsman is sitting in the front, and you did the considerate thing for that couple by sitting in the back where you could easily slip out to take him to the bathroom, let him play, whatever you needed to do. You could easily slip out without interrupting anything. Versus if you had gone to sit by your husband in the front row, people would have been distracted by you and the baby every time you had to get up and go someplace, or anytime the baby threw a tantrum. You would have been a distraction, and I feel like that just would have raised your stress level. Honestly, I don't think you and the baby ever should have been there if the expectation was that he was going to help you. For one, you made it sound like a pattern. Like, this is just how he is. He doesn't help you. And really the fact that you feel like you're asking him for favors says a lot, because that's his kid too. And asking him to watch him or feed him or help with him is not doing you a favor. It's being a parent. But him being a groomsman, there are certain expectations, one of which is that he will sit up front and kind of be present. Knowing that he was going to have to sit up front, it never should have been expected that he would help you during the actual wedding. Thank God for that older lady that finally felt bad for you and helped you with the kid. That was so kind and so sweet. But honestly, I think you should have either gotten a sitter. If you wanted to go, gotten a sitter, but you still, it sounds like, would have been completely alone at that wedding anyway, because your husband was always going to be sitting up front talking to his friends and the other groomsmen. That's always how this was going to go. So I think the ideal, even if it made your husband unhappy, was for you to just stay home and have a nice quiet day. Everything about the wedding says that your husband does not recognize your needs and really isn't there to be a present parent. But then it gets so much worse. I don't even care about the girls he danced with. I don't even care about that part. I don't care that he didn't check up on you because he was a groomsman. That was his role for the day. But when you didn't get to leave when he promised, that's so aggravating, especially when you have a kid or you don't feel good and you're just like, I tried to hold out until this time. We were supposed to leave at this time and he's not leaving. That's disrespectful of your feelings, and it's so aggravating. And then when you just want to go home, you're begging, you're crying, he's like, oh, I just want to stop by my mom's. Stopping by a parent's house is never just a second. For the most part, it's never just it's never just a second. Like, they want to talk, they miss their kids. Yeah, that he should have been able, if he really cared about you as much as he should as your husband, he should have been able to pick up on the fact that you did not feel good, you were uncomfortable, you were upset, you were emotionally spent for the day, and just been willing to leave when you were ready to and take you straight home. I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's a horrible person, and I don't necessarily think you're incompatible. I think he's not awake right now, and he needs to go to therapy. Well, you guys need to go to couples therapy, at least, so he can really tune in and understand what your needs are and how those needs aren't being met, and why you get mad all the time because you are, from the sounds of this alone, you are a single parent, and you're not supposed to be because you're married. So I think he needs to go to therapy, ideally at least couples therapy for the two of you, so both of your sides can be brought to light and you can have a professional kind of help both of you understand how to communicate and work better to meet each other's needs. Because I feel like that's really where the problem is. Not communicating well enough, or not communicating in the right way for the other one to really understand, and not understanding why meeting those needs are important for the health of the relationship. So, you're not wrong. This whole situation really is a mess. Yeah. Yeah, we're actually going to label this one a mess because a lot of things were done wrong here. You never should have even been at the wedding. Yeah, so this is a mess. Therapy is needed, but I'm not going to shout divorce for this one. 'Cause I think it can be helped, hopefully, if you want it to be helped. All right. That is 4 stories and us done for the day. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.